I'm Dr. Laura Murillo, President of the Houston Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. We're so happy to recognize our next Houston legend, Roberto Contreras. He is President and CEO of Moderno Porcelain Works and more. You're going to learn a lot about some of his big projects in the city and across the country. Roberto, thank you for being with us.
No, thank you for inviting me.
We've been involved with you for many, many years at the Chamber and have seen you grow and just do so many great things. Moderno Porcelain Works is your newest venture. And before we talk about that, though, tell us a little bit. Your journey has been extraordinary. How did you get started? What was one of your first big breaks?
Oh, my God. Where do I start? Well, I came to this country in 1984. I came because my parents have moved into the country about a year before, and they kept on inviting and saying, "Hey, you guys have to come. You guys have to come." At the time, I was 20 years old, and I was already married. I was already married with a little baby girl. Mm-hmm. So my wife and I, Claudia, we decided to, hey, we could always, go and try it and see and explore something new. And if we don't like it, we could always come back to Mexico. So we decided to move to Houston. When I arrived, I did not speak the language. I did not speak English. So I went to University of Houston to take English crash course, English as a second language, and after that I applied to college. So I was coming from starting my degree in engineering at Tecnológico Monterrey in Mexico. And when I arrived here, I knew that I was not going to do engineering because I was really struggling with it, and really my mind was in business. So I applied to Texas A&M because I had a lot of friends that have moved from Tech of Monterrey to A&M, and I didn't make it because my English was not good enough to make it into A&M. So I went to Blinn Junior College, and then later I transferred to U of H. And frankly, I was able to go to college because my wife went to work and I went to school. And even though I was working after school, she was really supporting me. Mm-hmm. And that was my first break. My first break was realizing when I finished college that I could start a business because I was being supported by my wife. I mean, we didn't have much, and it was not easy, but we were surviving. Yes. So I was able to take the risk of starting my own business, which had always been my dream. To be able to create jobs and to be my own boss.
What was your first business?
My first business, I gotta go back to when I was in college. I was working in the warehouse in the afternoons. I was working in the warehouse of this company that was providing the metal fireplace boxes. Mm-hmm. To apartment complexes. So they were a distributor for the manufacturer of the metal fireplaces, and they installed it mainly in apartment complexes. And there was a big boom in the early 80s on apartment construction because there was some tax advantages if you invested in this type of apartment creation or housing creation. So this company had a lot of business, and one of the things that they did is they did some marble surrounds. Okay. Together with the fireplace. So in many cases in the summer, I was in charge of actually, making sure that this got installed properly and it was happening. And I always asked them why they were not doing marble in the vanity tops of these apartments, and they said that it was because of breakage, because they were importing the marble from Italy and from Mexico, and when you bring a piece of marble with a hole, it breaks. So I had a great idea of I'm going to start a fabrication shop cutting marble and making it easier for companies like this one to be able to supply marble in commercial jobs.
Yes.
To make a long story short, I start a fabrication shop cutting marble, and that was my first business after college, thinking that, I already had a customer.
Okay. And today, you're doing a whole lot of work in this space again, but in a very different way.
Well, yes. The experience from that business led to another business. I introduced in the late 90s, early 2000s, I introduced a new product to the industry called silestone. So I partnered with a manufacturer, and we created a company to introduce this new product, which is a quartz surface, which at the time didn't exist. There was not a lot of people, actually, there was none really bringing it for countertops. I sold that company 12 years later after I started the company. It was, very successful company. And I left the industry in 2010. And later, I went back to a trade show 7 years later, and I discovered this new product, which my idea was, if I did it before, I could do it again, introduce a new product to the market, because it's not, even though the product is available, it's not really accepted yet. It's not everywhere, and the product has great advantages.
Yes.
over other products, and that is a large format porcelain tile.
And I've been to your warehouse, and it is beautiful. And in terms of the technology, and if you see something, you can take a picture of it, and you're customizing all of it. So
and that is what it is, right? The reality is that the technology keeps advancing.
Yes.
And that gives you the ability to have new products and new ideas. And in this case, the concept of this product, it is being able to provide the customer with the look of a natural stone in this case. And I say natural stone because right now marble is really in fashion.
Yes.
White Italian marble is very desirable. So it's to be able to provide the customer something that looks exactly like white Italian marble. It feels exactly like white Italian marble because it's a stone, but without the disadvantages that natural stone has, which are, natural stone is very rough on the environment because basically, you're mining it out of the earth. And it has some disadvantages, some weaknesses. I mean, marble is not used commonly in kitchen countertops because it stains, it scratches. It is hard to be able to have matching colors. So this product basically bridges all those gaps and is able to overcome all those efficiencies thanks to the technology. And
it's a great alternative.
It is.
Certainly. Well, I must ask you about the incredible, the Allen that is coming up very soon, that is going to be a true gem in this city. You have so many other projects, buildings across Texas and elsewhere, but let's start with the Allen.
Well, the Allen is definitely the largest real estate development project that our company has developed. The Allen is a mixed-use development on Allen Parkway, which has some retail pavilion. It has a 34-story tower, which this first 16 floors is a hotel, Thompson Hotel, which is the boutique of the Hyatt, and then has 100 residences, 100 condominiums. That is a phase one, and then we have phase two that will come later as an apartment and more retail. But basically, the Allen is just an opportunity created by the big investment that was made on Buffalo Bayou.
Yes.
Because it's a great location now, but he's really leaning on that big investment that the Kinder family and the city of Houston created with Bayou Bend Park.
And it's going to be extraordinary. We can't wait to host our gala there in 2024, and it'll be around the corner. And certainly going there, having been in San Antonio at the Thompson that you have there, and it's extraordinary having come to this city, as you mentioned, to Houston, without the language, without any connections, if you will, that you are a true American success story.
Oh, thank
so
you.
we're so proud of you, and you've always been very engaged with the Chamber of Commerce. Anytime that I have called, you have been there. So we appreciate, we value, and we thank you.
Well, and I appreciate everything that the Chamber does for the community and for business people.
Thank you. So Roberto, before we wrap up, I'd just like to ask you, what would you like your legend to be?
Really, what I would like is for my grandkids to do well, and that to me, that would be the biggest thing that I could leave is really to have grandkids that are doing good, and that they continue that spirit, that American spirit of achievement, and continue to try to get better, after the previous generation.
Every generation better.
Yes.
Thank you, Roberto. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you. Well, we'd like to say again, congratulations to Roberto Contreras and all of the many accomplishments that he and his family have made, not just in Houston, but throughout the country. We thank you for joining us. We'll see you very soon.